Did you know that you are eating arsenic when you're eating rice? In this video, we're going to talk about how we are consuming it and what the risks are, what the studies are showing, and what we can do about it. I mean, we don't want to stop eating rice. I love rice. So there's a better way to cook it to reduce the arsenic. Stay with me and I will share more in just about 6 seconds. My name is Deb Day, and as a health and well-being coach, this matters. And you all need to hear what's in this video. I'm going to answer 3 common questions when it comes to which is the best rice. What is arsenic? Well, first there's organic, not to be confused with organic foods, arsenic, that is naturally forming in our soil and is easily absorbed by water, which is why we test for arsenic in our drinking supply. Organic is less toxic than inorganic, which is put in the soil by fertilizers and pesticides. And what you need to keep in the back of your mind is that while arsenic-containing pesticides are mostly banned, arsenic that was used decades ago is still present in that soil today. Now, I'm not going to dive into the analysis of the risks of arsenic, but there are a few reasons that I want to share now why you don't want it. Regular exposure increases the risk of bladder, lung, and skin cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and in utero may have effects on the baby's immune system, increased risk of cancer, lung disease, heart attacks, kidney failure, neurodevelopmental issues, cognitive development, intelligence, and memory, may also harm a pregnancy and boost infant mortality rates. All right, so what's this got to do with rice? Well, rice tends to absorb the arsenic from the soil more readily than other plants because it is grown in paddies, which are flooded with water. Check out the description below for more information on baby food and rice cereals. So let's get to the questions. Number 1, organic versus inorganic rice. So if the arsenic is from pesticides, would organic rice have less arsenic than conventionally grown rice? Well, unfortunately, no. And let's look at the example. Arsenic pesticides were banned about 30 years ago in the United States, but by then, 30,000 tons of arsenic chemicals had already been dumped into the cotton fields in the southern United States. So it is understandable that arsenic residues will still remain in that environment. And we will get to the recommendations on buying the rice later in this video. But for now, if you're getting value from this, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. Doing so tells me which material you want to see, enabling me to deliver the content you're looking for. Question 2, brown versus white rice. Does it matter? While some suggestions are to eat less rice, but incorporate different kinds of grains into your diet, that might not work for a lot of people who might not like those other grains. Let's look at brown versus white rice. Rice can be broken down into 3 main parts: the germ, the bran, and the endosperm, each part providing different nutritional value. So brown rice has all 3, and after processing to white rice, you are left with just the endosperm, which is less nutritionally valuable, which is why brown is normally recommended. But here's the kicker. Most of the arsenic is contained in the outer shell of the rice, which is stripped away through the processing to white rice, which means there is less arsenic in white rice than there is in brown. So choosing white over brown appears to be a smart choice. Let's go to question 3. Does it matter where the rice come from? There has been a lot of testing done over the years, with one review testing 5,800 rice samples from 25 countries. The highest total arsenic average came from the United States, with the high levels in the United States blamed on the heavy historical use of arsenic-based pesticides. But within the US, there are different levels from state to state, very high in Texas and Arkansas to a more world comparable level in California. Rice imported from India and Pakistan had arsenic levels lower than the 95% of domestically produced rice most of the US, with California rice comparable to rice produced around the rest of the world. So in short, white Basmati rice from California, India, and Pakistan, as well as US sushi rice, has half of the level of inorganic arsenic than other rice types. So what's my advice here? Check where the rice comes from before you buy it if arsenic levels matter. What's the best way to cook the rice? Okay, you have bought your rice. Now what? You have to cook it. And does method matter? Yes, it does. Many of the articles I write said that this method of cooking rice, similar to pasta, can reduce arsenic levels by up to 60%. But a new paper published October 29, 2020 in the Science of Total Environment shows that cooking rice in a certain way removes over 50% of the naturally occurring arsenic in brown rice and 74% in white rice. Importantly, this new method does not reduce micronutrients in the rice. Here's what they said to do. Add fresh water, 4 cups to every cup of raw rice, and boil. You're going to add the rice and boil for another 5 minutes. Discard the water with the arsenic. You add fresh water, 2 cups for every cup of raw rice. Cook the rice with low to medium heat with the lid on until the water is absorbed. Now, reading and researching this information on this topic did not give me the warm and fuzzies, especially when it comes to what we are feeding our children and the things we didn't know, like rice for babies not being all that safe. I, for one, will be changing how I cook my rice moving forward. Please let me know in the comments if you will be too, because our goal is to be the healthiest version of ourselves possible and to live one kick-ass life. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.